What's going on, you guys? Spencer Rivkin here, back with another video for you guys. This time we're going to be nerding out, talking about mostly stock racing and kind of tuning the stock motors. Obviously, I'm not an expert in stock racing. I've raced stock for many years before I switched over to running mod. Things now are a lot different in the industry with motor power, motor tuning, and getting the most out of your package. So one of the things with Hobbywing, they've been developing this Tunalyzer for a long time now, and they finally got it released, and I'm gonna be going through showing you guys what to expect, what to look for with the stock motors. This video, I'm not going to be showing you what you want for your vehicle on the track. I'm just showing you as a product review of the Hobbywing Tunalyzer. I'm going to be adjusting the some of the timing options on the motor and showing you like the different parameters on specifically this Hobbywing G4 17.5 motor. And so far, I already unboxed this thing. I didn't really want to waste a whole lot of time for you guys unboxing it. One of the cool things about this thing is actually the case. For those who do a lot of traveling, having a pretty sturdy case for this bad boy. It's pretty crazy. After kind of watching some videos about this product from Charlie, he already did a nice product review, and I'm just kind of doing the same thing, but maybe in a little bit different depth than what he did. But for those who are completely newbies to this whole hobby, you know, what is a Tunalyzer? And ultimately, a Tunalyzer, or motorlyzer they've called it in the past, is basically checking the parameters about what kind of kV, RPMs, and torque that your motor makes. And I guess you can ask, well, why would I need this kind of motor? Well, basically, you can go in, and if you have multiple motors, 17.5, 13.5, or even modified, you can really kind of pick and choose what you want out of the different motors. So one motor that you might have more torque, but less RPM, or one might have more RPM and less torque. So this is the kind of stuff for an experienced racer that might find this to get the extra power that they're looking for on the different kind of conditions. There might be a triple out of a corner where you need a lot of torque, or there might be a super long straightaway where you want a lot of RPM. So let's go in, kind of show you what's going on here. You have all the nice wires right here. These will actually end up connecting to the Tunalyzer and then to your motor. So if I can get this to be done here, kind of struggling. Get the wires all out. You will need a 2-cell battery, and we'll kind of go in and talk about the power unit. You can change the voltage of how much voltage you are using from the battery to checking the motor. So we're gonna get the black wire, tune this. You can come a little closer here. You'll see that all the cords have specific slots for the Tunalyzer. So black wire will go into negative, the red wire go into positive, and then for the most part, if you keep this all the same, it doesn't matter for the motor which wires, as long as you're plugging A setting into the A column on the motor, then you're good to go. So I'm gonna be organizing this a little bit better. I'm gonna get my battery, plugging this in here, positive, negative, and as you can see, it instantly turned on right here. And maybe Hannah can swing over here and kind of see it. So before I plug in the motor itself, I kind of want to show you kind of the options that you have here. So you have auto motor test, manual motor test, throttle output, and settings. So I'm going to go through the settings. Go to test voltage, and this is, I think preset is 3.4 volts, so I already switched it to 7.4. So just make sure when you're checking it, and make also the battery, you want to make sure it's charged. So you'll get plenty of cycles out of this because I'm already at basically 8.4 volts, and this is a constant voltage check at 7.4. So we're able to check not only 10-scope motors, but also 8-scope motors, which is our 4-pole. The 10-scope motors are 2-pole. And not gonna lie, the touchscreen is actually pretty awesome on this bad boy. So, into the settings, you can change the language. We're English here, we're not Chinese. Gonna go there, you can change the brightness, higher or lower, which is pretty neat. Save the data, and you can scroll down. You can also change the sound off, but I actually kind of want to leave that that setting on. We'll save the data, and then there's also device information and other such. So I'm gonna get into plugging the motor in here. The yellow wire is the A location, which is, you can see here on the motor, and then the B wire, the blue wire, is going to B, and then C, be white here. Kind of go from there. So on this motor, like I said, I've given you kind of a run through of what's going on. The stock timing on this motor is roughly about 45 degrees, and this is something that the marking on the motor is not maybe completely super accurate on a Tonalizer, so we're going to go ahead and kind of just do a generic auto motor test. 2-pole motor. So as you can hear, it's actually rotating the motor to do a full-on analysis of everything. So as you can see here, test voltage was 7.4. The current of this motor was 1.02 amps. The kV rating of this motor, which is strictly motor power, is 2571. And we actually didn't have any endbell timing because I actually forgot to completely plug in the sensor wire, which is a rookie mistake by me, and that's alright. So make sure you plug in the sensor wire. The sensor wire plugged into the back here. And now we can rerun this test. So make sure the sensor wire is plugged in to get all accurate ratings. That's a mistake on my end. There we go. There she goes. Now we have full accurate rating. Test voltage 7.4, current was 3.78, and the kV rating was 3083. Endbell timing was 45.3. So the endbell timing on this, the motor, is pretty accurate, which some models and brands out there aren't. Sometimes you just definitely have to double check. You can kind of see how even all the stator and everything is with everything. So this is 43.9, 47.1, 45. So the closer these numbers are, the better. So we're going to scroll down here. So the endbell time deviation is 1.2. And these are just a couple other key elements that I'm really not really familiar with, but there wasn't a motor temperature because it wasn't really ran, but you can see it was 73 degrees Fahrenheit in here. So for quick sake, I'm going to end up changing the motor timing to a little bit less, and we're going to see exactly what's changing in the kV RPMs. So kV rating was 3083. I'm going to go ahead and change the motor timing to 40, roughly 40. And the ultimate goal here is to see exactly what can bring out the most rating in the current and the kV. There's a fine balance. Once you start to see it kind of drop, you might have to refine and see exactly what is the better balance for the motor timing. So we're going to go in, go back, full on test. So this is just an auto test preset from Hobbywing. So as you can see, as we've made less timing, the current dropped significantly, and the kV also dropped. So this is just a little bit less power than what it at 45. But if we go to max timing, we'll do a quick test. Sometimes that's not always the case for bringing out the maximum power. That sometimes it can cause cogging and not produce the maximum power. So there is a fine line. So we'll do auto test. So as you can see, the current definitely went up substantially, and the kV rating went up substantially. So the timing is at 57.4 degrees. One thing that I want to say is you have to definitely go through a progression of figuring out the numbers with the Tunalyzer, but not also on the Tunalyzer on the track. So I'm going to put it back to 45, and then Hannah can kind of switch back to the other spot. We can kind of just swing around here. So after we kind of went through a couple things, I wanted to maybe explain exactly, you know, for those who are getting into the hobby, this is something that you probably don't exactly need to have, but for an experienced racer and you're looking to kind of bring your next level stock racing game and trying to figure out what is the next level to getting out the most power. So like I was just showing you the two different examples of changing the timing. You can see the kV rating, the current and amp rating. This is all stuff that makes a difference, but at the same time you still have to drive the vehicle and you need to really understand really what's changing. This also is a huge process of figuring out the gearing that you run with your 13.5 four-wheel drive car or 17.5 stock buggy. So if you're really geared really high, you're geared for a longer straight, which you want a motor that has more RPMs. And then if you're the short straightaway, you need power out of a corner, that's more torque. So I'm gonna bring Hannah back in here and show you a little bit something different that this Hobbywing Tunalyzer offers is the manual motor test right here. So this shows you the RPMs, and this is what this toggle stick does. So we're at basically 30%. We're at 30% power. This is what the toggle does. This is a manual motor test. As you can see, as I'm rotating this up, 50%. And what's nice about this, everything stays pretty consistent. You can keep it at 52% or just do a max forward. And then that's what you get roughly there. And you can see the RPMs, 23,018. We'll slow back down. We're gonna do it one more time. So 23,030 was basically the max that I saw. So 23,030. I'm gonna change the motor timing a little bit to 50. So this is 24,000. So this seems to like a little bit more timing in the motor. It seems to be running pretty efficient with the timing a little bit higher. And then you can slow it down. So for the most part about this speed control, or about the Tunalyzer, excuse me, and checking the motors, the kind of data that you're able to get from this is definitely critical for getting the maximum power. One thing that's cool about the Tunalyzer, you are able to connect it to your speed control and change, it can act like a OTA Bluetooth connector, so you don't really necessarily need the OTA to change your ESC settings. You can use this to plug into your speed control, use your phone to Bluetooth connect it, and change your speed control settings. I'm sure I missed a few things here with the Tunalyzer, but for the most part, I really want to show you guys what this thing's capable of. I'm going to be start to play around more with the 17.5 motors and help out our customers and maybe do some racing here locally. But again, thank you guys for watching. I'm sure, like I said, I forgot a few things, but this is the Tunalyzer from Hobbywing. If you have any questions, check it out on their website. And then if you have any questions with me personally, don't hesitate to ask. And once again, thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.